I'm sorry.
Well, I was wondering.
Excuse me. What?
I was wondering if we brought the letters that we want that voice was made written about these.
Bring them to me.
Bring them to you, and then you can take them as a stack and have a way to talk about them and present them.
I'll say, friend Meg, I've got a lot of constituents that really like you. But here's something you need to think about and listen to. Okay? Sure. Absolutely, Mark. Sir.
I belong to an organization in relation to zoning, and in that area, and they have a person on their board of directors who is a financial professor at one of the largest colleges in California. And they did a background check. And the question I have for you, I have a number in my mind what they said. Have we got any idea as far as our governor level, you might say, what the cost of illegal aliens in California are?
Oh, yeah. You know what, and I apologize, I used to have that figure in my head. I don't right now, but I can give you one example.
I've got a figure, because, but it's in the billions of dollars.
Oh, yeah, it's in the billions.
And they're keeping this undercover because you know how much we're in the hole. That's the problem we got, and we're ignoring it.
That's one part of the problem. 17,000 inmates in state prison. 17,000, nearly 10%.
Program is social support from babies to the medical program that they go through. You go to any of our hospitals up there, and you see those things coming to pass.
And, in fact, I mentioned Prop 187, 1994. That passed, and that denied a lot of those very benefits. Oh, it was such a controversial thing, but it passed overwhelmingly in California in 1994. Guess what happened to it? The courts. Not sir. The courts. That's the problem. And by the way, that is something else needs to be made a lot more accountable. That is the courts. A lot of people forget the changes that happened after Roseburg, Grodin, and Reynoso were removed from the state Supreme Court. I remember because I fought them. I led the anti-Roseburg campaigns. And all of a sudden, our judicial branch became a little bit less nuts. And I can't say nuts because one of the Burke Court decisions construed that rape did not constitute great bodily injury, among other things. Okay? Yeah.
So, do we need to be taking a look at the current court and see what duties they are not?
Do we need to take a look at the current court? Well, I would submit yes. I don't know. I'll tell you where to start. Proposition 8. Look up the California State Supreme Court's decision on Proposition 8 and start with that. Go on the website of the Supreme Court, get that decision, and read it, read its majority report, and read its dissent, and read the arguments, and that'll be a place to start. You want another place to start? Get a hold of my office, and I'll give you some criminal justice decisions that Jim Nielson just happens to disagree with our Chief Justice very strongly about. Lady right back here.
Yes. Would you please address what your feelings are on legalizing marijuana, the proposition that will be on the ballot?
Legalizing marijuana, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at somebody who's seen up front and very personal in the hundreds of thousands of instances the light at the end of the marijuana tunnel. No. No, no. I get personally mad, and I've been, these debates go back to the early 80s, and medical marijuana then was for terminal illness, not hangnails. Now, I wasn't even okay for that. Then it became for glaucoma. Now it's for anything anyone says it is going to be for. And also you will regulate it and you will tax it and will balance our budget. What a stupid way to balance the budget. Oh, man. I was meeting with a fellow from Sierra Pacific today. We were talking about that. I said, you know what's going to happen? Now we get that legal, then they are going to require you, the environmental agencies, that as a mitigation for your timber harvest plan, you're going to have to set this land aside for marijuana propagation. Now don't be surprised. That's not a radical idiot thing. That's a natural thing. Folks, this is dangerous. I have seen the thousands of lives that it has destroyed, the fried brains that go from marijuana to methamphetamine, the mean drug, the one that men beat their girlfriends and wives and their children, and women who kick and kill their children. Marijuana started, and then methamphetamine induced rape. No, that is the worst thing we can do, and it almost angers me that people accept that this is, oh, even in frustration, the more libertarians, oh, we got to do this. Oh, no. It's a huge problem. Excuse me,
How can we fight it?
how can you fight it? Spread the word. Another Tea Party challenge. Communicate all over the state of California. That's a terrible initiative. Read it. If you're an employer and you've got a guy high on marijuana, guess what? You're not even going to be able to say go home without getting sued. And by the way, that's built into the, I'm not an attorney, but I sure think like one. And I read that and I said, hey man, this is litigation city for a whole bunch of marijuana attorneys. Look out. No. I hope that loses by 80%. I don't think it will, but I'll settle for 60.
I have a question about marijuana. We have a neighbor that all of a sudden built a 6-foot fence, put tarps around it. I mean, this is like an advertisement. She's got 5 prescriptions on there. She has 3 teenage boys, and she takes off and leaves them. We've complained, there's nothing you can do about it.
You ever heard of Roundup?
Yeah. We've already had some vandalism because they think we're griping about it. And my husband's been to the sheriff and everything, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, there are some.
Roundup. That's
There are some,
trespassing.
well, yeah, but then you're trespassing. There are other issues that you don't want to put yourself at jeopardy. And you don't want to become the law enforcement agent either, because you're putting your lives at risk. Some of these folks take issue. You know, I've been shot at. I'm the daddy of the California camp program, by the way. I'm confessing my life. I got the first state money to fight marijuana back in the 80s. And I remember right after we did that, it was flying up Feather River Canyon. Oh shoot, what's the helicopter outfit flying out of Redbluff the other day? BJ. Yeah, and this pilot's flying me around the other day. We were coming up the valley looking at some stuff, and he said, Senator, you remember flying up Feather River Canyon? I was the pilot in that helicopter. We were looking at the marijuana places up in Feather River Canyon. Yeah, and I said, I remember hearing that plink, 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 and telling you maybe we needed to lift up a little bit here. The ladies appear to be restless today. And I remember you saying to me, yeah, but we know where those guys are now. Oh man, this is great. Sir.
Jim, are there any caps that the legislature put on their staff and how much they can pay them? Because, and let's make reference to John Perez. And when he got elected to the House there,
Gave everybody the
$65,000 raise to his #1 secretary to make that $190,000. 6 more got raises from 10 to 30%.
Well, worse than that, the former speaker's staff, who was supposed to get that higher salary because of the higher responsibilities, kept the same salary. Didn't get cut. No, the outrageous salaries that are afforded to some members, staff in the legislatures, yes, you complain about it too, and that's one of the things in the budget. We just cannot afford that kind of excess.
So there's not a cap. I mean, you
No. There's kind of a cap, but not, it's not one that can't get around, okay? Let's just say if you're the guy or the lady in power, you pretty well set the term. You can pay whatever the heck you want to. The legislative budget is kind of out of control. But worse than that, remember me talking about the bureaucrats? The power of legislative staff. This could be a whole night's discussion with you. Staff, because legislators abdicate. They don't assume their responsibility. And I've literally told them time and time again, you're not giving up your vote to the staff who are calling their shots. You're giving up the votes of the people that elected you. And that is so out of control. Absolutely.